I believe in equality for men and women. I really stand for that, man. Like, I went on a date with this girl recently. She wanted me to pay, and I have a strict no-paying policy on the first day, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, ladies. I thought you were all INDEPENDENTG. You know what that means? It means you can pay for some shit, okay? That's a rap song, in case you know I spelled it out. Independent. Ask a black person. Whatever you got to do, all right? There you go. I'm saying, look, we don't know each other. Why don't we just split it, see what happens, right? If I had to be your boyfriend, I'll buy you stuff. I'm not against paying ever. I'm just saying on the first date, how about no pressure, right? This girl got a match. She's like, oh, my God, you're such a cheap guy. I think the guy should pay. I mean, I'm just old-fashioned. And I felt bad. I was like, oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm old-fashioned, too. So how about you shut your fucking mouth? Hey, you're so fast, why don't you put on an apron? I'll pay for the meal when you make it. How about that? I mean, stop voting. I'm just taking a shit in the woods. I mean, how far back you want to go to remember the time stuff, huh? Oh, you're selected with tradition. Oh, I see. Okay. I've been single now for 10 years successfully. Thank you very much. I say successfully because it's hard to be single for that long, right? Girls try to use it against you. Oh, that's why you don't have a girlfriend. That's why you're saying, yeah, it's easy to have a girlfriend. What, do I just got to get yelled at and be wrong all the time? I can do that. Come on. It's easy to have a girlfriend, right? Here's the thing. I just don't like in relationships, it's always a power struggle, right? Like in the beginning of the relationship, who's in control, the man or the woman? What do you guys think? Now, I'd say, oh, my man, dudes don't say anything. Oh, yeah, the woman. You know what? I think the dude's in control in the beginning. When the girl's in charge of the sex, you regulate the flaps or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, you control that. But dudes are in control of the relationship. You know why? Because girls generally are pretty indecisive in the beginning, right? It's always like, what movie you want to see? I don't know. You pick. You want to stay in or go out tonight? I don't know. You decide. What do you want to do later? I don't know. You pick. I can't decide. Well, what the fuck? The problem is, 6 months later, they start using that shit against you. One night she's going to be, you're so controlling. We always do what you want to do. I never get to say anything. Right? So what does the guy do? He's like, okay, I'm sorry. We'll do whatever you want, right? That's when girls take control. In the middle of the road, once you've been together for like 6 months, the guy lets his guard down. That's where it's sneaky. Start taking little things, little by little, to build your case for later. I've been watching. I followed this. I traced it all the way back to the car keys. Like one night you're gonna go out and she's gonna be like, "Give me your keys." And you're like, "What?" Because you're gonna lose them. I never lost my keys my whole life. But you're a nice guy. You don't want to fight. You're like, "Yeah, here, hold my wallet, keys, cell phone. Let's just go see Bridesmaids, whatever. I'm fine." Then they start taking more things. Here, oh, here, let me cook for you. Oh, here, let me clean for you. Oh, I'll do the laundry. Oh, I'll do the bills. Don't worry about that. 6 months later, they start using that shit against you. Hey, you wouldn't be anything without me, okay? Your clothes will be all dirty. Your bills may be paid. You don't even know where your keys are. The dude's like, shit, I don't know where my keys are.
Okay, this big. Stephanie, like a thick girl. Thick. All right, listen, guys. Thick. Good. We got the girls coming to the table now. We got Stephanie from New York. She's 5'7", 133 pounds, and she's saying she get out eat anyone. Now that's no problem. Well, we should have different weight classes. What the hell? Just throw them all together. Stephanie.
Yes.
Hi. Are you? Do gentlemen consider you hot?
I don't know. My husband does.
Ah. You want to eat? Have you ever gone outside the relationship for sex?
Honestly, yes.
You have?
Yes.
How recently?
Like within the last 6 months.
Was it just oral or did you penetration?
Everything.
Everything. Wow. And your husband knows?
Yes.
And his response was?
He wasn't too happy about it. We split up for 3 months, but we're back together now, and I told him I'd clean up my act to be a good girl.
Are you?
Yes.
Are you going to continue?
Yes.
Have you felt weak at any point that you're going to go back to your old ways?
No.
Who's the guy?
I can't honestly say.
How'd you meet him? Well, what was your relationship? Yeah. You bang the guy in the next cubicle over? What, at work? Co-worker?
No.
Was he married?
No, he had a girlfriend, and I just called her up recently and told her, and now we're good friends.
You rat. Why would you do that?
Because it's the right thing to do.
No, the right thing to do was to not do it to begin with. And then you don't tell everybody so you can feel better.
Oh, okay.
That's the right thing to do. I shot him in the face, but then I told everybody that I did it. Because it was the right thing to do. Wow.
So I want to know, if I win this eating contest, what do I get? Plastic surgery as in what? Like bigger boobs or something?
What's your problem area? Well, what do you plan to do with those bigger boobs, man?
I don't know. Maybe impress my husband.
Oh, is that why you cheated? Good answer. Is that why you cheated? You weren't getting much action at home? What was the problem?
Oh, no, I was getting a lot of action at home, just not what I wanted.
Something tells me impressing your husband would be keeping other men's cocks out of your mouth. Like, can you honestly, why did you do it? Just well, she wasn't getting what she wanted at home. What was that? She wants something different. Yeah, well, what did you want, Stephanie? Different cock. It's a different cock or a different way?
It really wasn't all about the cock. It was more emotional. Females are very emotional creatures. We don't always want sex. There are some of us out there like me that like sex, but
you just wanted to be, cared for and felt like you were wanted. Aww. You never notice whenever they cheat, they always have like these good, valid reasons rather than you just wanted some emotional, some different dick. I wasn't getting it hard. I just wanted to be loved, all right? If he had raked the leaves a little more, then I wouldn't have had that orgy. That's what it was. It was his fault.
Well,
I told him to take out the trash.
When I lost my husband, I had my first G-spot orgasm, so it wasn't all a bad thing.
Oh, wow. You never had one with the hubby, huh?
He's given me one since we got back together.
Of course he has. Wants to keep you in the house. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm getting selfish cunts and a cheating whore on instant feedback. No, but if he wasn't doing it right, though, but if the dude wasn't doing it right, I mean, guys do that. Yeah. If you got a girl, you love her and everything, but she's awful in bed, eventually you're going to go outside the relationship. So if that's what she did, I can kind of understand it. Oh, now you're understanding. Yes, because I think they're just like us. Yeah. As far as like the whole cheating. You ask girls about as far as like them cheating. If you really get a girl to be honest, they say 60. I've heard everywhere from 60 to 75% of them go outside the relationship at some point because they're not getting what they want at home. No, just because they fucking want something different. The same as they're just as dirty and filthy as us, but they're such better liars. Wow, big time. Oh, that's frightening. Well, do you guys want Stephanie, the cheater, part of the contest? Yeah. Yeah. And how did the husband give you the G-spot orgasm when you got back together?
He's given me a G-spot orgasm with both his finger and his penis. Oh.
Hey, what was the scene? Can you paint the scene when you told him? Did he suspect something? Why did you tell him?
Actually, I gave him a heart attack.
Oh, that's good. An actual heart attack?
Yes.
Oh, why is there glee in your voice when you say that? Wow.
What's that?
You kind of seemed like there was a happy tone in your voice as you was, actually, I gave him a heart attack. What, when you told him or when you were cheating or you were just cheating. Aggravating?
Yeah, he was like really stressed out, and then when I actually told him, we got into a big argument, and he ended up in the hospital. And they told him he was having a heart attack.
Wow. And it all started with always and forever. Always and forever. Why don't they show these kinds of women on Oprah? No shit. Now, at least the
I don't know.
moron guy, why can't we get a selfish whore like this woman? Next, Maury Povich. If you've cheated and given your husband a heart attack, call Maury. Stephanie, is he a nice guy, though? In general?
He's wonderful.
Wow, man, he didn't deserve that shit. Wow. You guys were dancing on that dance floor. Yeah, you realize, yeah, he's going to die sooner now.
Well, he is 10 years older than me, so I guess he will probably die before I do.
Well, you hastened it by giving him a heart attack. Nice. Turn down your radio, Stephanie. That's a slight delay there. That's fucking everybody up. Do you have anything you want to say to your husband? Yeah. You want to give a dedication to the man you gave a heart attack?
Yes, Walter, I love you very, very much, and I hope that we can have a life together, and you can forgive me for what I did.
Say what you did. This motherfucker, man, is working his ass off in bed to keep you satisfied, which means he's that much closer to another heart attack. The first time he doesn't give you that G-spot orgasm, you're out the door. This guy got flop sweat 24 hours a day. Trying to satisfy get it up. He probably has like performance problems. Right. Flop sweat. Jesus. Did you come? Right, really? Don't lie to me, you fucking whore. The pressure this guy's got to be feeling. Oh, wow. He doesn't take Viagra. He takes like heart attack meds. Blood pressure meds that nitro under his tongue. He's probably on a blood thinner for his heart. He's on Viagra to get enough blood flow. He's a mess because of you.
Well, he seems to be doing better now.
Oh, he hasn't had a stroke this month? All right, do we want Stephanie? We have to have Stephanie to fact check eating content, even though she's not fat. She's 5'7", 133 pounds. Okay. Can you come in next Wednesday, Stephanie?
I don't know.
I got a big girl versus cheating whore. Yeah. You don't know? Wow, come on. Come on. No, what are you doing? No.
I don't know if my husband would approve.
What? What happened?
I said I don't know if my husband would approve.
Fuck him. Yeah, what's he gonna do? Have a heart attack, baby? Come on.
He's right now.
Come on, we need the Widowmaker here. Come on. You're eating food, not cock. You should be okay with this. All right, I think she's out. Yeah. All right, Stephanie. Very interesting story. Thank you. I think that'll be the best story today. Got another big girl?
Still, I mean, the transformation he has, witnessed firsthand through so many events and personal sessions and also like that. I'm just really looking forward to this.
And it's a call-in show for you. You can call in and ask Matt Kahn questions as well. And so let me get started on introducing. He just came out with a new book. Everything is here to help you. Matt Kahn is the author of the best-selling book, Whatever Arises, Love That. He's a spiritual teacher and highly attuned, empathetic healer who has become a YouTube sensation with his healing and often humorous videos. He has more than 10 million YouTube channel viewers and he's really helping you explore possibilities in your life through joining his website, joining his newsletter, and joining his live streaming. Everything is here to help you, author Matt Kahn. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so excited to have you come visit us again. And you were visiting us from your home in Seattle after getting married. You're a newlywed. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's truly an honor. I've actually been looking forward to getting married my entire life, and to now know that I can be married to my beloved and have the kind of relationship that I've always dreamed of having. And it's really a dream come true.
It's one of those things that quite often I wonder, did your wife pick you? It's a dream come true, is what I hear, or did you pick your wife?
Well, I would say that we chose each other. When I met my wife, there was definitely an energy between us, and I had a very distinct knowing that was very different than any time I've met someone else in my life. And the knowing wasn't, this is my wife. It was, I need to know this person. We need to explore. I want to explore something. It was that kind of a immediate connection, and she felt it too. And then as we would connect and get to know each other, and as time went on, we very quickly started to feel a very deep connection that neither of us had really ever experienced. And we came together, had an outrageous romance, and of course, at the same time, helped each other heal so many of our core wounds, and it only deepened our love for each other. So I think it was in the beginning we both had a very deep connection with each other, and then it was over time we really started to realize the depth of our love.
So Matt, what was, because relationships are so key at helping us heal or helping us see what's still a wound or what's still unconscious. So is there one thing in specific that she helped you see or helped you heal?
Oh, absolutely. You know, in my household growing up, there was a lot of um, there was a lot of emotional fireworks. I was raised in a very passionate family, and I had a very loving family. But at the drop of a dime, someone could explode in anger, and so it was a very uncertain type of environment. And growing up, I was inundated by the heaviness of these explosive moments with my family. And so, what I learned to do as a child, as an empathic child, is I learned to find complete peace and spiritual alignment in the fire of, emotional upheaval. And what I realized looking back on my life, and my wife helped me really heal this. And really, she helped me heal this by just the environments we were in together, especially with the work I do. I can be in complete peace in the midst of emotional upheaval. And the next step for me was learning to be in complete peace without the need for emotional upheaval. So for me, it was really just a deeper relaxing of my nervous system. And I'm a very relaxed person as it is. And then when I met my wife, I realized it was even deeper relaxing and settling in that I can do. So I really think now I'm just enjoying my life even more and savoring each moment even more. And I'm more driven than ever before in my career and my service to humanity. But I also have a personal life that is equally as fulfilling. I think for me, that's been a new gift to embrace.
A new gift to embrace.
So happy for you. Oh my gosh. So many people strive for that and to be in that place in life where you can receive that. Right. Just truly be grateful and just savor that. How blessed are you? Thank you for that.
Thank you. It was tremendously blessed, and then again, for me, I've always been a giver and rarely have I ever been a receiver. And up to this point in my life, I haven't known many people that could, give to me what I can give to them. And so I've just been in service to people, not requiring it to be equitable, just serving, because I've always had my connection to the universe. But here I found myself in a relationship where I can receive equally to what I give. And, for me, that was something very new to be used to.
It's so beautiful, something to get used to. And I want to talk about contrasting. This is a shift here, but going from duality, because wedding, marriages, all of life, and even your description of childhood and you stepping into oneness or stability. How do you describe duality consciousness versus oneness consciousness? And how do you see that relating into marriage? Because each of you is going from this duality, this reflection, going into oneness consciousness.
Well, in my experience, it's actually a little different. From the earliest ages, I've experienced oneness awakenings on so many ways throughout my life since I was 8 years old. Now I live in what's known as a meditative trance or samadhi. So I live in an uninterrupted meditation. I have for the last 15 years. So I've gotten to know oneness enough to look back on my life and go, wow, I was actually in oneness when I was a child. And I for some reason, was one of those psychic children that never shut down my abilities. And so for me, the challenge has been oneness has always seemed like natural reality, and being a part of this world and being the character that I seem to be, and holding space for myself as an individual, interacting with other individuals, for me, that was actually the journey. So in my experience of being married, both my wife and I both naturally live in a state of oneness. And oh, there we are. How beautiful. We both live in a state of oneness, naturally. And duality for us is just the way in which our oneness decorates itself as a coming together of two individuals. For those that are coming from duality to oneness, I can definitely see how there might be some challenges of how do you be an individual and abide as the one, because when most people come into oneness, the thing that either disappears or they think shouldn't remain is their individuality. And so I think what's really interesting is that to know that duality isn't the only place individuality exists, that when we come into a space of oneness, we're still going to be unique flavors of source. It's just a matter that our individuality is in harmony with all that is, instead of bumping up against, competing, or colliding with the individuality of others.
I love that. And the way that I see that, the more you are yourself, the more the rest of the world knows how to fit in and belong with you. And the more you belong to yourself and to the world, the more you understand and can access points in the world from understanding that it's a continuum. When you know yourself, you can master the information, that whether it's an empathic pathway that's being fed and nurtured, you can understand as an empath what's going on. So I think one of the greatest gifts you can do is share who you are, reflect that out as much as possible, take what the universe gives back to you as feedback, and lead that into knowing how and demonstrating how you belong to the universe, how the universe belongs to you. I'd love for you to share what it feels like for you to be in samadhi. Like, you know, it's so, I find myself describing to people what joy is. Mm-hmm. And I find myself describing all of these emotions or ways of being in the world that people don't have a reference point for before now. And so what is that reference point?
Well, when the samadhi happened for me, I was living in a house in Seattle, not the current one I'm in. And I was standing in the middle of my living room, probably 10 years ago. And I heard what I thought was a gunshot. I thought someone fired a gun in the neighborhood. And I realized the sound was happening inside my head. And there was an explosion that happened inside of my head. And it felt as if everything I knew about myself and every reference point that I gathered from my life up to that point oozed out of both of my ears like warm liquid. And as everything I knew about myself oozed out of my ears like warm liquid, I was just in a space of what I would say no thingness, which doesn't mean I'm no one. It just means I don't have a reference point to describe or put on myself. And so when that happened, my sense of the world, my sense of myself, all vanished. So I find myself in a very interesting position where I am leading a global movement of love, and I don't have a sense of the world, meaning I have a sense of the location I'm in. I see you, I'm in a room, but I don't have a sense of reality existing beyond this moment, and that everything is just the constant scene changes of this one moment. And it looks like I go other places, and so that's what I experience. And it seems as if there are other locations, but only when I get there. And so my experience of samadhi is just reality is only this very moment. I don't refuse to put anything on it. There's just no sense of putting anything on anything. So like when my wife and I are connecting, for her and I, it's just about the natural flow. There's nothing for her to do to be closer to me, and there's nothing for me to do to be closer to her. And our connection is so natural that we actually had to take some time to get used to it, because in past relationships, you know, we're used to playing roles, and this is about presenting your identity, and is my identity being pleasurable to you, and what can I do to be more attractive in your eyes, and all these different things. And once waking up happens at a deeper level, and it's not just waking up out of the familial conditioning of your past, but it's also waking up out of the social and spiritual conditioning, to where when you fully wake up, the nothing doesn't mean that nothing exists. It means there's just nothing to put onto the whole in any way, shape, or form. Meaning, for example, I can say that there's joy in this state, but that would indicate that there's something other than joy that I experience. And so for me, I have this constant, uninterrupted experience of vast, eternal, silent wholeness, where no matter what is occurring in the moment, no matter where I'm going or what role I'm playing, the vast, silent, eternal wholeness envelops me and carries me along, and is surrounding every being that I meet. And I'm just able to intuitively see how much or how little of that wholeness they're aware exists within them.
That's so beautiful and so profound. And it goes back to the not adding anything, not taking anything away.
Right.
Just experiencing. And you can describe for another, it sounds like what's happening in their mind, or what's happening in their body, or what the spirit or the soul, or what their word or their will is bringing forward. It's
right.
really, really beautiful. And to have a distinct moment is so profound as well. What are some of the ways that you can, and Greg has a question for you.
You know, it's so funny, man, as you're talking. First of all, I want to just like honor you and acknowledge you for coming to this place in your life, for a human being to evolve to this place. Wow, I love it. And then thank you for sharing from that and reflecting back to us that. And what I find so interesting is I'm listening, my ego is like, well, he should try having kids. or he should try coaching Little League and see how somebody is there. Oh, well, no, man, you should try traffic on the 405 in LA. We'll see how calm. And my ego's like coming up. I'm just like laughing at myself. I'm like, are you for real, Mr. Ego? It's like it's coming up with all this stuff around them. And I'm in a place now where I can say, okay, I see that. Funny. Because I'm listening to you sharing this great stuff. Like, I mean, this is what you're reflecting back to the world is so beautiful. Keep doing that. Keep living from that. Keep evolving from where you're at now into greater heights and deeper richness, and just keep sharing that, because it's just, we need this. We need you, man. Yeah.
And just to add to what you're saying, okay, so funny story. I grew up in Southern California, and I had experienced traffic, I thought. About a year ago, I came to LA. And my wife and I were driving somewhere. We were trying to get from Venice to Culver City. It's like 3 miles. And it took us 2.5 hours.
Yes.
And yeah, there you go. And I will tell you, if people say, oh yeah, were you still in samadhi? Like samadhi isn't something I have to try to be in. It's literally like a bottoming out. It's a bottoming out where it's not that you don't get angry, it's that you forget how to be angry. Like in moments like that, you notice, wow, we've been on the same street for quite a long time, but you don't have a sense of time. And what's weird about that is that I have no sense of time, and I keep incredible time. I'm always on time, because when there's no sense of time, now there's not personal will organizing your schedule. Now there's just divine flow. And so it doesn't mean I don't have a schedule to keep. It just means none of these things trigger the body into a state of stress.
Yeah.
Right. So I've been in 3 hours of traffic going 3 miles in distance. Going through this awakening process, one of the things I'm really not good at is sleeping. And so I can count on both of my hands the amount of times I've had a solid night's sleep in many years. I'm just starting to kind of sleep because my body is so relaxed during the day in this awakening state that at nighttime my body thinks it's been sleeping all day. So for me, the hardest thing to do is to sleep. And if I don't sleep, I actually do better work. So whether I'm tired, whether I'm awake, it's just as if nothing reminds you that anything's a problem. It's just something to face and something to deal with. And the closest I get, to be honest, and this is just my experience, to being upset is I just laugh.
Yeah.
Like I had someone in traffic, apparently I did something that to their rule book was illegal or unjust. I should have let them go first, whatever it was. And I've never had this happen in years. Someone gave me the middle finger. And I thought it was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. Like it just looked ridiculous. Like here is a finger and it represents my disdain for you. I laughed for 10 minutes, and I drove laughing, going, is that what's supposed to upset me? It's just, it's amazing what happens when someone has an issue with you and you're listening to their issue as if they're talking about someone else. It's the weirdest thing.
It's extraordinary. And I love that you're in the current. And I looked at some of Mary Magdalene's no guilt, no shame, no regret as part of that. What else would you add for that as being in the current?
No doubt. That's the key. No doubt. Because so many of us, oh my God, let's just talk about this for a second. How many of us as empathic sensitive souls are actually codependent? And if we do something that upsets someone else, do we stop and go, maybe I'm hurting someone. Maybe this is not what I should be doing. And what happens is, again, we're sensitive souls. We abide in the vibration of love. We vow to do no harm. But if you do something that your deepest knowing says, here's where you need to go, and it doesn't match where someone else is told where to go, it can cause a disruption in their own core wound to feel abandoned and left behind. And so the question is, do we become all things to all people so not to trigger the things that people need to heal? Or can we actually have the courage and conviction to say, I'm a nice person. I'm supporting the love revolution. I'm going to follow what's good for me. And if someone else has a problem with it, why would I disturb their problem as if I could offer a solution? I'm just being me.
That's so beautiful. The biggest gift you can give the world is being you. And we call that being a miracle maker. The miracle is you when you really step into that. And when you address what you want and how your ego, and I love your book for defining out the ways that the ego pieces things and the different faces of the ego really. And but what I think is the most important thing is having one foot in self-awareness. What is it that you wanted? What is it that, and then the other foot in being able to read the environment and know that it's your own filter that's reading the environment. And it's your book does that so beautifully to really, really show you how to read the environment. And my grandmother was my first teacher. My first thing, I didn't know that people didn't see the way that I saw in the world, seeing the wholeness. And this was the wounded healer archetype, going out, I'm going to save the world, non-government organizations. As a doctor, that's how I'm going to contribute. Brad had a different plan, having married my husband, to have babies, and this whole other path emerged. This beautiful space of wholeness, this beautiful space of knowing what your wounds are, knowing what you want, knowing how to define your ego, and really stepping through the possibilities, the possibility that underneath it all there is something else, this faith, no doubt. The more you get in integrity, the more you allow others to help you become more of the miracle you're here to make, or become more of the love revolution. Everything is here to help you. What along your journey do you feel helps couples most be able to do this?
I would say, and this is interesting to say because, I've been in Samadhi for 15 years, and it's only in the last 2 years where I'm still in Samadhi, but I came back to my personal sense of self to integrate Samadhi into my body fully. So I think what would help couples most is that both people in the couple have to be sovereign and whole and complete in themselves. So both people in a relationship should obviously have time to connect one another and to be honest, transparent, intimate with your partner. But equally so, there has to be a private practice of each partner finds their own time to creatively express their passions, to be with their own healing heart, to love their heart and to heal the wounds that are coming up. And as each partner cultivates love within themselves, they then discover more love that they can bring back and share with the relationship. With the agreement being, we love ourselves individually, so to share more love with each other, and then we both play the role of reminding each other how much love we deserve to receive from one
another. How much love you deserve to receive from one another. That's so. And if I love thinking of love as I can monitor how much I put out and how willing I am to receive. It's so beautiful, and that's such a distinction there. I can only control the love that I put into the universe. How much and this book really helped me be able to connect to receiving more. And for me, I think part of my wounding was, above all else, do no harm. And if I perceived I had done someone harm in any shape or form, it threw me into a automatic way of being, which knocked me out of flow. And no matter what the language or my mind had all of these techniques, my body might have as well. But until I got to the core of understanding that I can only control me, my receiving, my giving, and everyone else's opinion or everyone else's experience is their own. And sometimes letting go is the ideal state until they come back on their own. Or allowing, which I loved in your last book, was just the allowing aspect. It was so beautiful.
Absolutely, and I think that I appreciate what you're saying, because I think it's so poignant and perfect to the type of evolution happening on this planet right now. I think, and I only say this from working with so many people in these different stages of awakening, is that I think that there's an understanding in the beginning of the journey that says, I have the ability to let go of this and that. And the deeper along the journey, what we discover, and I highlight this in the book very profoundly, is that we are not the ones, in the end, we are not the ones that let go of anything. We're actually the ones being let go of. And part of the reason I wrote the book is to create a map of such soul-aligned harmony, so that as we make peace with the mind and the body and balance out the polarity of the masculine and the feminine, what we realize is we're not the ones letting go, we're the ones being let go of. Because when we let go, there can be a defensive or a masculine releasing or a pushing. And when we are let go of, we are the very thing being released. And we are released out of the grip of the ego once the ego realizes that we have evolved to a level of maturity and consciousness where we no longer require a psychological inner guardian or protector to keep us safe from the world and being. So if we really look at it from heart-centered consciousness, the ego is there to guard us from the perceptions of harm until we prove that we're mature enough to stand on our own. And because the ego in itself, even if it's the most dormant aspects of the soul, it is the divine too, and it is the divine waiting for us to evolve to a level of consciousness. And during our graduation, the diploma is the ego letting go of us. The ego dissolves back into the light, and as it integrates, the soul moves into the body, and we find ourselves to be fully integrated in a way.
Sign me up. I want that right there.
Right?
It's so beautiful. And that, so thank you for that. We've got callers and maybe some social media interaction happening.
Well, we can do both because there's someone here who's like, yes, I want to jump on the call with Matt. This would be like a dream come true. It's Mary Crane. Yeah, if we can. She said and Lori's like, ooh, extraordinary. Wow. Yeah, this is like beautiful messages. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Awesome,
So, yeah,
awesome. Jarvis, let's take the first call right there. And so,
hi.
Hi.
This is Mary.
Hi,
Mary, yay.
Where's your
Hey,
project?
Matt. Well, I wanted to talk to Matt today. Matt, I'm from Seattle, but live in Santa Monica, California now. So, and you're just adorable, and I just wanted to see what your spirit had anything to say to me.
Yes. So when I feel into you, what I feel might be really necessary, I feel the need for you to have more of a regular daily grounding practice. And the very specific reason I say that is because if you had a practice where you could just sit and be completely still for at least 10 minutes at a time, I feel like there are some aspects and conditionings of guardedness that have the chance to kind of melt away and come down so that your heart can even fully open more and even fully open in the presence of anyone else who may not be in such a heart-centered perspective. So this practice would allow you to, be as heart-centered as I can feel that you are, but the real key is to be totally heart-centered and not allow someone who's not in a heart-centered position to pull you over into their energetic signature. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh. Are you talking about additional meditation?
No, to be specific, I'm talking about open eye meditation. Do you do open eye or closed eye?
I'm sorry, can you say that again, Matt?
Yeah, do you do open eye or closed eye?
Oh, that's a good question. I actually walk the ocean every morning for an hour, so I would call it a walking open eye meditation.
What I would suggest, and like what I was saying about just sitting still, is because moving obviously is a good way to relax the mind so you can open up your awareness. So of course,
it makes me very open, yeah.
Yeah, just like a mantra will do the same thing. What I would suggest for you to take the next step, because again, what I feel like is being by the ocean is creating a certain amount of groundedness, but I'm feeling a deeper need for groundedness. So I would say, in addition to that, for 10 minutes, sit with your feet on the ground and your eyes open and just allow that deeper nervous system patterning to unravel.
Okay. With my eyes closed?
With your eyes open.
With my eyes open? Okay.
Yeah, because when your eyes are open, think of it this way. Meditation is very prescriptive. So if you're doing a walking meditation, you're learning to be in harmony while you're in movement. So that means if you're walking to your car, you're going to be in harmony because that meditation is replicating that. If your meditation is closed eye meditation, that means you're developing harmony during closed eye experiences, which means you'll be harmonious when you sleep. But what most people, and what I feel like you need, is harmony for the times in your life where you're just sitting and being, whether in traffic, sitting with other people. So instead, we want to sit with eyes open because that's the position most of us live most of our lives in. Does that make sense?
That's true. It does. That's amazing. Okay. Do you have anything to say about music? Because I love music.
Well, let me ask you a question about that. Because I love being able to allow my intuition to help you deepen your intuition.
Okay.
What is it about music that's calling to you?
I feel like it opens me up. So I sing at home a lot. Been singing since I was a little kid, and it just kind of takes me to a higher place. So
have you ever sang in the presence of others in your life during moments of
pain? Oh yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever considered maybe that was a healing modality?
I don't know if I want to anymore. I did it a lot when I was younger. I don't know if I want to now.
Yeah, when I tune into you and creative expression, to be honest, I don't get much about singing in terms of anything more than I'm sharing. What keeps calling to me is either writing or painting or some sort of sculpting, like using your hands. So my suggestion would be, let's look at writing, let's look at painting, let's look at sculpting, let's look at using your hands to create and bring that divine feminine through you. That's really kind of those callings to me when I tune your energy.
Okay, thank you, Matt.
You're welcome.
And congratulations on the marriage.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Welcome, caller. Matt Hahn is on the line. Hi. Who are we speaking with? Hi.
Can I ask any question?
Of course.
One question.
All right. This is great. Free for all. My name is Janice.
Welcome, Janice. What's your question?
The question that I have for you is something about my partner, actually. You know what? I need to turn off the computer because it's like echoing here. So just 1 second.
Thank you, Janice. We'll let
everybody else much better.
Anyway,
the question that I have is, my partner has a son, and he hasn't seen his son since he was 6 months old.
Yeah.
and his son is 22 years old right now. And it just breaks his heart. But it would just make me so happy to see them reunited. And I found a video online of his graduation from Humboldt State University, and he looks just like my partner. And it was more than just seeing a photograph. You could see his emotion, you could see his kindness, how he interacts with other people, his smile. And I just pray and pray that he will come to know the truth and what really happened, and he will want to seek out his father. And I just want to know if you have any impressions on that, or what we need to do.
Well, absolutely. I mean, what comes to me immediately is actually a little bit off the beaten path, because, when I tune into what you're saying, I listen to your words and I listen to where the currents of energy start to spike. And so where the energy starts to spike in terms of you is, how can we learn to be totally at peace with the possibility that your partner may, most likely will, or may not reunite with his son? And that my question to you is, there's a possibility that you're holding out for, that your partner's son finds out the truth and reunites with his father. And I hold that intention for you too, because I want that. But I want you to tune into yourself, and can you find within your body, particularly your chest and your heart chakra area, across your neck and your shoulders, can you feel the part of you that's almost kind of holding your breath until that happens? And my question to you is, what if we can hold that intention, we can be joyful for that possibility, but what if we allowed ourselves to be in complete harmony and wholeness and surrender to the fact that whether that happens or not, either option could only be the highest possibility for both your partner and his son?
Yeah, so that makes sense. I should just be like clinging. I shouldn't be attached to that outcome.
But would you agree?
And then just have faith in the divine.
But would you? And again, I think that's absolutely true. But I don't want to also bypass the part of you that is totally attached and wanting this to happen and wanting to do anything you can to make it happen. So just to make this really easy, can you feel the part of you that grips onto this attachment?
Well, right now, as I'm talking about it, yes, I do. I feel that.
So try these words out loud.
Kind of.
Just try these words out loud. I accept.
So Janice, repeat. I accept.
Just try these words out loud.
Oh, I'm sorry. I accept
that the part of me that is holding out for this outcome.
But the part of me that is holding out for this outcome
is actually begging for my love.
It's actually
begging for my love.
Begging for my love.
So instead of focusing on what will or won't happen outside of me.
Okay.
No, just try this out loud.
So it's kind of like hoping for it, but then just letting it go.
Well, I wouldn't even say it's letting it go, because letting it go is letting go of the outside. So we're still focusing on the outside. I just want you to turn inward and love you.
Oh, okay.
You see the difference? I just want you to say, this is a beautiful thing that I'm trying to do for my partner, but the part of me that is so attached to this is actually my own need for love crying out through this need for attachment. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
So my advice to you would be, every time you wonder about whether your partner and his son are going to reunite, that's a clue. And it's a beautiful thing to stop what you're doing. Just take a few deep breaths, put your hand on your heart, and say, Janice, I love you.
I think that is such beautiful advice. And Janice, I'm going to add to that. The letting go attachment, the ability to let go of the attachment, will help create a flow in the universe. And once you do that a little bit, the idea that you found him in video and found his graduation, and for you and your husband to possibly create videos that would allow the son, to also find you both. Conversations not necessarily directed at the son, but conversations. Go online, start creating videos with your name, with your the son's father's name, and really start creating the conversations, the messages, the energy that you want the son to have from both of you guys. So powerfully surrender, detach, and then add into that the possibility of creating videos that gives to you, gives to your husband, and could quite possibly give to your son, to his son. The way that I see this is, at some point, I know he's going to begin to look for deeper connection. He's going to get into the flow. The son is going to get into the flow and want to know his father. And if you put it in video beforehand, just who you are, it makes it a lot easier for them to contact you.
Oh, okay.
And makes
yeah, because I feel like almost like seeing that video is like opening up this portal, like it opened up this whole experience. Like I feel like I'm more connected.
Yes, and what you're seeking is seeking you. On top of that, in this beautiful oneness, wholeness state, you can already be prepared for when his frequency matches what signals you're sending out to the universe. And so create videos with your husband, sharing who you are, what you love, why it's so beautiful, the journey that your husband's been on, the journey that you've been on, how important fatherhood was to him, and his own journey without revealing the son's name or anything like that would, or the wife's name. Yeah,
that would be beautiful.
Yes, beautiful. So glad you joined us, Janice. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for answering my question.
You're so welcome. Yay.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye for now. We can take the next.
Tag team.
Sorry.
I want to know what though, Matt, because we are coming to the end of our hour here. And in the book, you have such a big section on self-love. And I know that last caller that you were kind of directing it towards that self-love. So I would love to get your take in the time we have left on self-love, because that's such a big one to address and to give guidance around.
You know, it's something that we constantly face on the spiritual journey. And I think the common misunderstanding, and again, sometimes internal impulses require external action, no doubt. But so often, our responses to the external are actually bringing us back to a need within ourselves that requires our love and attention, such as what I was proposing to the last caller, that the need for a certain outcome, just because of how I'm measuring it vibrationally when I tune into her body, is really a deeper call for her innocence within her that says, because my partner has not reunited with their child, there's a part of me that feels unsafe. But the unsafe is not caused by the situation. The unsafe is being reflected by the situation to show an unsafe sense that has been there for many, many years. And it's our ability to love ourselves, to make what seems unsafe in life, to find wholeness and sustenance and groundedness as we love ourselves internally as a response to the things outside of us that trigger or instigate our deepest core wounds. As we do that through self-love, we are creating an internal flow of alignment. As we create an internal flow of alignment, without having to make a decision, greater opportunities will come to us. Without having to make a choice, we'll be moved in the direction of new timelines and new inspirations and new offerings. So from my position, simply because I want to help people not create, not take an ego and make it into a spiritually themed ego structure, but I want to help people truly wake up in the greatest way possible, to truly use the power of love to inspire the deepest awakening, where we have nothing to maintain, we have nothing to track, we have nothing to measure. It is simply allowing the outside world to remind us when it's time to love ourselves, knowing that when it's time to love ourselves, it's not just life reminding us how much healing we haven't done as if we're failing our mission, but because we are connected to all that is, every time we are inspired to love ourselves in response to the things outside of us, we are loving all the hearts across the universe. That woman, Janice, would be loving that child and her partner simultaneously the more she loves herself. So it's not as if we are these beings who have such ultra dense energy fields and have so much healing to do. It's that when we are inspired to love ourselves in responses to the things life presents to us, we are being reminded as light workers to stop and love ourselves as an energetically encoded prayer that actually uplifts the vibration and transforms the consciousness of all mankind.
All mankind getting transformed by everything it appears to help you. All mankind being transformed by nothing outside yourself needs to shift in order for you to transmit the highest flow frequency possible and love frequency possible. It's so, so beautiful. Do we have time for another caller, Jarvis? But we have time for another caller. Welcome, caller. We're so glad that you're here. It's Matt Kahn on the line with you. Can you hear us? 714, you're on the line with us. Welcome, 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 caller. All right, 714, we're going to take the next one. 619, welcome. It's Dr. Sarah Larson and Matt Kahn and Greg Larson in the house. What can we answer for you? Matt's on the call with us. Can you hear us? 619. Not yet. Okay, we've got another caller. Ellen. Oh, hi, Ellen. Hi. Ellen, is that you? Okay, look at it. Oh. Hi, we love the sounds in your background. 818, welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, so glad you're here.
Hi, everyone.
Hi. What's your name?
My name is Haley.
Hi, Haley. So glad you're here. What's your question for Matt? Or Dr. Sarah Larson?
Well, my question is, a lot of times I feel I feel tired. I lack motivation. I feel like I have on the other side of this, it's like I'm afraid of my own power. And anytime I have opportunities where I feel that power, it's like I kind of sit on it. It's like I'm so resistant, and it's just getting so old. I'm 41. I know I've come to do big things. So I need assistance in with my energy and breaking through, being kind of in a dependent situation, because really I'm here to be independent. I know this, but I've been in a very comfortable situation and it hasn't served me. So I kind of need help with breaking through and getting in touch with trust and confidence in myself, because I've let this gone on too far.
Well, I appreciate that question. And what comes to me immediately is very specific. My feeling, just to give you the functional part of it, is in the next 4 to 6 months, I think you're going to be in a much better position to pick yourself up and do the things that you want to do. But if you can do it 4 to 6 months and still give your body the rest and rejuvenation it requires. To me, the reason I say that is because you're at the tail end of a very big process a lot of people are in, when you're switching over from the carbon-based DNA to the crystalline DNA. And when you switch over from the old 3D DNA to the 5D DNA, the in-between is a lot of exhaustion. A lot of exhaustion and a lot of rest, because it's kind of like you're learning to live at a new vibration. You're learning to live in a new spiritual altitude. And so the exhaustion is almost like a form of spiritual altitude sickness, where you're in a comfortable position because that was what's orchestrated by the universe. And you can judge it as I'm afraid of my power, I have opportunities I can't act on. But it's really your soul saying that I'm going through an evolutionary process of completing some DNA activations. And as soon as that activated DNA is integrated into your body, which I get will happen for the next 4 to 6 months, then the opportunities that will come will be able to be acted upon. And it's not because you finally got your stuff together and you reclaimed your power. It was simply because the process that you're going through right now was complete. So as we honor this process, what I would invite you to look at is it's not you holding yourself back. We're just perceiving a problem because we don't understand the process of DNA activation. And what I would say for the next 4 to 6 months, even though you're going to move out of this situation and do a lot of incredible things, what I would say every single day while you're going through this is thank you, DNA, for activating, and thank you, life, for giving me this opportunity to rest in here.
That's so beautiful. Thank you, darling. I'm so excited about your book. I can buy it on Amazon, or how can I buy it?
You can go to Amazon. You can everywhere books are sold. Everything is here to help you. And what's amazing in that book, there's a whole sections on clearings and activations that you can repeat out loud. And I would suggest that those practices and activations and clearings are going to help you actually accelerate the DNA healing. So perhaps the 4 to 6 month time window, even though that's what I'm feeling is being accurate right now by the Akashic records, you also have the opportunity to fast to make it, say, 3.5 months at the earliest, but 6 months at the most.
Could you tell me if I am a star seed or an indigo? Or
oh my God, shut up.
With that?
Could you tell me if I'm a star seed or an indigo? Shut the fuck up. Fucking fuck girl.
Yeah, I get that you are I get that you're an earth angel. And what an earth angel means is that you are someone that has the ability to connect with the higher realms, but part of your focus is to be as grounded as possible to the earth.
Really, we're so grateful that you were on the call. And this is Matt. That was beautiful. Yes. And we've come to the end of our show. Matt, everything is here to help you. Haley, thank you for being with us. The last caller. Baby, anything that you want to share really quickly?
I just have a gigantic man crush on Matt right now. Thank you so much, Matt, for sharing just your brilliance. I just love you so much, and you're transforming the world in the ways it needs to be transformed, and I'm grateful for that so much. Thank you.
Thank you. It's an honor. I think you're amazing as well, and both of you I think you're amazing, and I'm so honored to be a part of Miracle Makers. And to all the Miracle Makers who are watching this program, you know, if we want an easier time healing, awakening, and transforming, and making our way through the wilderness of spiritual purgatory, if we want to live a life we're meant to live, if we want to start participating in the world, and we want to start really stepping into that next timeline of excitement, it's really about moving out of the ego and into the soul, but from the soul's perspective. And that's exactly why I wrote Everything Is Here to Help You as an energetic blueprint to move you into your highest destiny in the most heart-centered way. So I invite each and every one of the Miracle Makers on this call to purchase Everything Is Here to Help You, to enjoy all the activations and clearings that it offers. And if you want to also join along my group healing tour, please go to mattconlive.com, and you can sign up for an all-access pass and receive the energies that I transmit on a monthly basis. It's a very exciting time.
Yes.
It's a very exciting time. Thank you so much, Matt. We look forward to our next conversation. Bye for now. Bye. Bye.
All righty then. Well, that was fun. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, Aries 106. And Dr. K. Charizard, you are very, I don't know, if you have some sort of file on your computer, it's called the misogynistic file, where you just have a whole bunch of women-hating jokes or quotes. But, wow, you have a really large lexicon of women, evil women quotes there. When a woman has relations with a man, she would like as much as possible to be lying with another man at the same time. Oof. Yikes. That was pretty much what was exposed on the phone call earlier, with that one woman saying that she was cheating on her husband just because, you know, women are emotional creatures. I just need another dick in me, in my mouth, and all my orifices, you know. It makes me really that's actually the opposite of emotional. That's physical, actually. So stop pretending you're something other than what you're not. You're a hoe. What is the name of the show you were playing? Let me go back real quick. And give credit where credit is due. Matt Kahn, The Best Relationship Advice. Samadhi in LA Traffic, Living. I guess I'll click it to let you know who it was. Tell you to subscribe to her channel. It was some doctor. Dr. Karen. Hold on a second. I'm gonna go play basketball after this. I'm gonna work out in the sun. Alright, it's Dr. Sarah Larson. Here's the video. Here's the video. Alright, cool. Hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a TK Kazara? Man, sorry, man. The comedian in the beginning. Then I played a little bit of Bill Burr, Opie and Anthony snippet. And then I played some Matt Kahn relationship advice. And I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. And have a wonderful week, day. Don't let Monday become a draining thing. It's just the beginning of a new life. Have a wonderful life, full of light, love, liberty, and meaning.